Evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Amanda Gomez.
And I'm Sean Mooney. President Joe Biden delivered his first State of the Union address tonight at a moment of crisis in America and around the world.
The president balancing his handling of the war in Ukraine with the domestic challenges affecting the American people, from skyrocketing prices to the pandemic. And News 4 Tucson's Eric Fink has more.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
President Biden stepping into a full House chamber for his first State of the Union address, knowing his words reach far beyond the Capitol at this defining moment in history.
We, the United States of America, stand with the Ukrainian people in the battle between democracy and autocracies. Democracies are rising to the moment.
With the war in Ukraine center stage, the president taking on the threat posed by Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Putin's latest attack on Ukraine was premeditated and totally unprovoked. He rejected repeated efforts at diplomacy. He thought the West and NATO wouldn't respond, but Putin was wrong.
Many lawmakers dressed in Ukraine's yellow and blue as President Biden laid out what the U.S. and allies are doing to help the besieged nation and punish Russia.
Tonight, I'm announcing that we will join our allies in closing off American airspace to all Russian flights, further isolating Russia and adding additional squeeze on their economy. The Russian economy is reeling, and Putin alone is the one to blame.
On the economy, the president focusing on strong job and GDP growth. But he acknowledged the challenges American families still face, vowing to ease soaring inflation.
My top priority is getting prices under control.
Masks are optional tonight, signaling a shifting phase in the pandemic. The president celebrating progress against COVID and commending the American people.
Thanks to the progress we've made in the past year, COVID-19 no longer need control our lives.
Also touting his historic nomination of the first black woman to serve on the U.S. Supreme Court,
Ketanji Brown Jackson.
At a time of deep division in this country and devastating conflict around the world, President Biden seeking a path to unity. I'm Eric Fink, News 4 Tucson.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds delivered the Republican response tonight, citing her concerns over out-of-control inflation and what she described as a flawed approach to foreign policy that she says has set the country back decades.
We're now 1 year into his presidency, and instead of moving America forward, it feels like President Biden and his party have sent us back in time to the late 70s and early 80s, when runaway inflation was hammering families, a violent crime wave was crashing our cities, and the Soviet Army was trying to redraw the world map. Weakness on the world stage has a cost, and the president's approach to foreign policy has consistently been too little, too late.
While the president's speech did focus on the invasion of Ukraine, he also covered a wide range of other concerns for the American people, mainly soaring inflation and rising costs. News 4 Tucson's Angelique Lizardi live for us from Midtown with more on what people from both sides of the aisle believe the president has done to handle the economy and what's ahead for the country. Angelique.
Yeah, well, good evening, Amanda and Sean. That is right. During the President's State of the Union address, he says that his top priority right now is getting those prices under control.
We will grow the economy, lower the cost of families. So what are we waiting for? Let's get this done. We all know we've got to make changes.
During the State of the Union address, President Biden focused on the economic momentum, including job growth and dropping unemployment numbers.
Invest in America, educate Americans, grow the workforce, build the economy from the bottom up and the middle out, not from the top down.
While progress has been made during President Biden's first year in office, there are still many challenges facing the American people, including prices at the pump, housing, and child care costs.
He understands that inflation is a problem for many families across the United States. He's been laser focused on that for the last several months. He's already taken steps to protect consumers at the gas pump.
Some believe President Biden needs to do more in order to reduce the pain at the pump.
People want to hear that he's going to stop the rising gas prices, that he's going to get a handle on inflation, that he's going to stop the crime that's running rampant in our country, right here in Tucson, being named as one of 12 cities with increasing murder rates.
But Democratic National Committee Chair Jamie Harrison says people in Arizona will benefit from the Biden administration's economic plan with the help from the Build Back Better Act.
All of the things he's been able to do, particularly for the great state of Arizona, when you think about the infrastructure plan and the investments that we'll have, more than $600 billion for roads and bridges, $85 billion for public transit.
Now back out live here, as far as the situation in Ukraine goes, economists are also adding that one of Biden's goals is to also maximize the amount of pain for the Russian economy and to minimize the amount of pain, of course, for the U.S. economy. We're live here in Midtown. I'm Angelique Lizardi, News 4 Tucson.
Thank you, Angelique. Meanwhile,